no numbers in it for right now. But the first bill, I'll go through the bill and give you a summary of what's included in it. And again, for the new members, this is pretty much an annual, unfortunately, an annual act that we have to do every year for certain agencies and things that have come up in the off season that we have to get paid in this fiscal year, FY26. And so you'll hear, I go through each of these and you'll hear the source of funds to pay off each one. The first is going to be the section 1 is from the Attorney General's office, and this is all capital expense funds. And the first one is a continuing settlement fee that is paid to EPA. It's for $10,000 for a ChemFax site. It was an environmentally sensitive area, and that's $10,000 for this Superfund site. Those that have been here for a while, remember this, it comes up pretty much every year. Second there's 5 different settlements that we have to pay for wrongful incarcerations. One for Curtis Flowers, and by the way, that's $50,000 per year for those inmates who have been wrongfully incarcerated, later determined to be wrongfully incarcerated. They get $50,000 per year pursuant to the statute for each year they serve. So we've got Curtis Flowers, $50,000, Eddie Lee Howard, $50,000, Sherwood Dwayne Brown, $50,000, and then we've got 2, Courtney Williams is $48,000. That's $40,000 for the time served, plus you pay the attorney's fees for $8,000, and Kelton Hathorn, which is $86,000, which includes the first year, the $50,000 of the first year of wrongful incarceration, plus $36,000 in attorney's fees. Section 2, also from the Attorney General, is the various items that we paid for lawsuits. Olivia Y, that's a CPS matter, paying the monitors for that's $120,000. We've got White versus the State Board of Education, State Board of Election Commissioners. That's the Supreme Court case that was ruled on not too long ago. And that is, all of these are about $100,000. These are payment of the counsel, the outside counsel that's handling these cases. So $100,000 for that case, $100,000 for the lawsuit related to the legislative redistricting, $100,000 for 2 in a row that deal with the HB 728 that was passed in 2024. That relates to the 340B program. One of those suits is by AbbVie versus the Attorney General. The other one is AstraZeneca versus the Attorney General. Both of those involve alleged claims of improper takings and violations of the contracts clauses. Those are being handled by the Wise Carter firm, and they're $100,000 each. The next one is the Express Scripts lawsuit against the Board of Pharmacy related to regulation of PBMs. The next one is Arkela Lewis versus the Department of Public Safety, and that one is $100,000, and that's related to an alleged improper shooting by Capitol Police, and the wrongful death beneficiaries are seeking damages against DPS for that incident. All right, Section 3, and then following, I've got several here that include the first one is a payment for MEMA services to a group called Snap Nurse. During COVID, there was a group called Snap Nurse that had performed some nursing. They hired nursing and other medical professionals, and they claimed actually a lot more, somewhere between $15 and $20 million. This case was settled for $2.475 million, and so CapEx would be used to pay that. The next one is a lawsuit, actually 2 lawsuits against Authority for Educational Television. One of those is a discrimination claim. The other one's a discrimination and harassment claim. The total of those 2 is $149,500. Next is a lawsuit against the Community College Board, and that was related to discrimination in hiring. That's $100,000. The next one's a big one, Section 6, which is Division of Medicaid. That is a deficit request that they made. They've requested for the remainder of this year. That's $35 million. Their actual request was slightly above $35 million. Hopefully that'll be enough to get them through FY26, and that'll be, maybe they don't use all of that and they can get some of those funds put in FY27. Section 7 and Section 8 both deal with the changes from FEMA as it relates to the way that they're restructuring. The federal government is restructuring emergency management, and The hit to MEMA for the emergency management performance grants is $1,315,990. And also it's a hit to our counties as well. So we're proposing to pay out of capital expense to our counties that were unexpectedly hit with this change, $2,672,869. And that's what they would have received through the emergency management performance grant. Section 9 is $4 million for a lot renovation and relocation repairs to the Bolton building. Some of you on the coast know where the Bolton building is. That's where DMR is headquartered. They've had some problems with mold in that building. The request was $8 million, but we're hopeful that $4 million can handle some of the relocation and work on the Bolton building. And I'm not exactly sure at this point what the long-term plan is for that. I've heard two sides of that story, but this $4 million hopefully would get them enough money to get that done. Next, Section 10 is $1 million for the semi-quincentennial commission, the 250th anniversary centennial. We put money towards that last year. This is another $1 million going to that program. Next, Section 11 is $4 million for AOC. This is pass-through special funds. Pass-through money gives them the authority to send the money that the county send to AOC, and they send it back out to pay court reporters and trial judges. Section 12 is AOC, and this relates to a few things, which include some trial judge appointments and terminal leave payments that were due to an employee that died in office. Next is $25,000 special funds for the Board of Medical Licensure to finish out this year. They need another vehicle. Section 14 is to DMR for prior year titleings projects, and that's $5,309,560. Section 15 is for licensing system upgrades and maintenance to the Board of Examiners for Social Workers, Marriage and Family Therapists. This is $50,000. Again, that's special funds. Section 16, $5.1 million for student financial aid, special funds. That's for the HELP, MTAG, and MESG programs. And then finally, DHS needs an income verification software. This, as y'all know, we've got error rate issues that we're trying to get resolved at DHS, and this is $4.5 million of CapEx. This will be effective from and after passage. I'll yield for questions. Senator Norwood, you recognize for a question.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Olivia Y. Do we have, where are we on that? We
hope we're working our way towards getting out of that. I talk to Andrea Sanders every year to see how close we are getting at CPS to get out of the Olivia Y case. And I know we're having to pay for the monitor. I think the numbers look pretty good as far as the caseworkers per cases. I probably need an update from her, and she's supposed to be here tomorrow for this computer hearing, because that's one of the things where, you know, if y'all recall, we spent a lot of money on computers for DHS and CPS, and I want to talk about that tomorrow. But hopefully with the implementation of that new computer system and the software that they need, Senator, that they're going to be in a better position to help move some of these cases along at CPS.
and the dollar amount, I don't remember, the dollar amount is traditionally around the same amount each year that the monitor is charging.
It varies. We could probably go back and give you the amounts from prior years. It seems like it was more at one point, but
right. I mean that's fine. That's why I was trying to
right, just
to see if it was. And my other question is with the Medicaid deficit appropriation, do we have can we get a breakout from them of where the shortfalls are?
Well, the shortfall is probably not unexpected. You know, when we got in negotiations last year, I think the number that they had requested was a good bit higher. We were at a higher number than what the House was and what they thought we would need. And as you know, we went into special session last year, and I think the number that everybody kind of settled on at the end was the amount. I think it was 60 million. don't hold me to that number, but anyway, we'll find out that number, but or let me say, I thought there was a decent chance they might end up being in a situation where they had a deficit this year. Just, you never know with Medicaid. As you well know, Senator Norwood, you never know what it's going to be. And this is what I hope can get them out through the rest of this year.
Thank you.
It was 60 million last year. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions, Senator Norwood? Okay, Senator Dupree, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of questions. I guess, I'm new here, so I'm trying to figure out what's happening. But so when you noted the 50,000, 48,000 being paid to I assume the inmates, did I hear you right? Said that's paid for every year that they were incarcerated?
Correct.
Okay, so this will be going on for a number of years. That's for some of these.
Some of these are I think the last two that I mentioned were the second to last one I mentioned, I think was not even a full year.
Okay.
And then the last one that I mentioned, I think it's 3 years, but it's the first year of that payment.
Okay.
And you have to pay the attorney's fees on that as well, pursuant to the This is statutory. There's no wiggle room in this anyway. This is just what the law is right now. So we have to pay for each year. Yes, sir.
Well, I don't disagree with it. I just wanted to know how long will be paid. The other thing is the $100,000 that's being paid for multiple cases. Are these ongoing cases or cases that we've won in the past, or they're ongoing and we continue to do this next year?
These are ongoing cases. I think they're all ongoing cases, if not most, if not all of them. Let me just look real quickly. Yes, they're all ongoing.
And so I guess I was mistaken. I thought that the Attorney General basically pursued these. These are all outside attorneys?
These are all outside attorneys, and according to the Attorney General, I mean, I could let her speak for herself, but I think in some of these cases, they feel like the complexity of the cases are so deep and unique that they just don't have the resources or the people to handle that, I guess. And so that sometimes they hire people that specialize in different areas. For instance, in the redistricting litigation, any of those cases, they typically hire outside counsel to handle those cases because of the specialized nature and the complexity of the cases. And these are all estimated costs.
Okay.
The $100,000 for each of these are
That's just
what they think they will need to get them from today through the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30, 2026.
And most of these handled by the same law firm?
I think Wise Carter had a few. I think maybe, let me see, Butler Snow has one. The firm of Dambrino, I'm looking for it, Gore, Dambrino, and something has another one. I can get that for you. I've got it in here somewhere.
Okay.
Kilpatrick, maybe.
That's not something you have to find. That's not something you have to find for me now, Mr. Chairman. I just was interested to know how many attorneys have an opportunity to work with the Attorney General in these cases. So that's all I need.
Okay, thank you, Senator Dupree. Senator Turner Ford, do you have a question?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As it relates to Section 8 with the appropriations for MEMA, are we expecting any assistance from FEMA with this? And is the fact that this appropriation is needed, is this unanticipated?
Yes, it is unanticipated. I think it was a federal change and it kind of got dumped on us and we just had to respond. And now the Section 7 is going to be a state obligation for MEMA. Section 8 is us helping out the counties with the unexpected obligation.
Was this something that was done incorrectly?
No, it was not incorrectly. It's rule. Yep, something they've done at FEMA. Yep.
Thank you.
Senator, is that all, Senator Ford? Yeah, Senator Hickman, you have a question?
Yeah, just very quickly. I think this is Section 17. I just want to know, and I think we've seen this come up in this committee and a couple of committees a couple of times. I'm just trying to see, has the head of the agency guaranteed us any you know, if we're able to do and they're able to get the software they need, have they been able to give us any guarantees on what that's going to bring our error rate to? Because this is for the software DHS to bring our error rate down. Because I think starting this year, if we don't have it down by a certain point, we'll have to pay so much in the SNAP
Correct.
benefit program. I'm trying to see if they've been able to give us any guarantees that, hey, if we do this, we'll be able to get our error rate to this or that, or how that's working out.
I haven't heard that it'll guarantee anything. However, DHS will be here tomorrow too for that technology hearing. So that may be a question you want to ask Bob Anderson when he's here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Hickman. Other questions? Seeing none,
Self-sufficient do pass, Mr. Chair.
motion is title sufficient do pass. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Now, the last bill, Senate Bill 3105, is just another vehicle that we can use if we have, we're likely, again, as we do most years, having some other things that come up. So we need another vehicle out there in case we need to figure out there are other deficits that pop up unexpectedly before the end of session. No numbers are in this right now. I'll yield for questions if there are any.
No questions, title sufficient do pass.
Motion is title sufficient do pass. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. I'll entertain another motion. Motion, rise and report. All in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Mike.